Hello YouTube, this is going to be a March 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for Naturia Traptrix. All of the monsters in this deck, in the main deck and the extra, are Earth for a few reasons. Naturia is pretty strong. I mean, you got Beast and you got Barkion, so those are really the primary monsters to go into, but I do like Naturia a lot. Really cool monsters, so here's the deck profile. Please enjoy. So we start off with Triple Cliff. Cliff could be a better card. I mean, it does miss timing, so if it's used as synchro material or link material, or if it's tributed for cost, or if it's sent to the grave as chain link 2 or higher, it will miss timing as a when effect, so you can't use this effect to special a level 4 or lower Naturia from the deck. But I believe if it's destroyed by battle, then it will not miss timing. Unfortunately, not an if effect, but still a classic card here. I mean, you got the old print, it's a secret rare, really cool card, really cool artwork. So to keep going with the Naturia monsters, we have Triple Cherries. Really splashable level 1 tuner here, also Earth, which is perfect for that Naturia Beast play. And special summons 2 cherries from the deck when it's destroyed by battle or card effect. So probably can be used in more decks than just Naturia. Really solid card to spam out monsters onto the field. Then we got 2 Cosmo Beats for the level 2 tuner. Special summons itself when your opponent normal summons or sets a monster. So if you open this card and you go second, you can get a free monster out there, and perfect for your Barkion play. And then we got 2 level 3 tuners, the Butterfly, which allows you to mill a card to negate an attack. Not necessarily the best or most useful card because it's a level 3. I mean, kind of awkward for those level combinations, those additions of levels to make up to synchros, but still in the deck because you can make that Landoys play, or maybe if you have Barkion and you want to go into Leo Drake to get a beater out there, you use Butterfly as the tuner. And one more Naturia monster coming up. We have 1 Bamboo Shoot, which is just a solid card. Only one of these guys because I don't run too many Naturia cards. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus Bamboo Shoot. So that's 10 targets to tribute. But still, if you can manage to make that play, you can lock your opponent out of all of their spells and traps. So really solid card, Bamboo Shoot, just one of them. For the Traptrix monsters, we have 2 Mermalios, which is just the star Traptrix here, because upon normal summon you can search a plethora of normal whole trap cards, and also upon special summon it pops a spell or trap. So a lot of ways to do that. I mean, Goblinberg, you got the Dioneo, which is actually the next card. The Monster Reborn to pop to special Mermalio and pop a spell or trap. Dionea brings back a Traptrix monster from the grave. Of course, you have to have a Traptrix monster in your graveyard to do that. So, and I don't run too many Traptrix monsters, so only 1 Dionea. And also one of the newer ones, Mantis, which searches a Traptrix monster upon normal summon. Also pretty cool that it's got a cool quick effect to help you dodge maybe something like an MST. If your opponent MSTs a set back row, you can return that set back row to the hand and then maybe set the exact same back row. And of course, the effect will resolve. I believe it will resolve without effect, if I have that correct, because the target is no longer on the field. So those are the Traptrix monsters. And then for some non-Naturia, non-Traptrix monsters, we have 3 Goblinbergs, which I thought was a little bit more useful than Naturia Pumpkin because it can special summon any monster, not just a Naturia monster. And you can go into your rank 4s, you can go to your synchros. Just really good support Goblinberg for spam kind of decks. And it's an Earth monster. We have Glow Up Bulb, which is your backup level 1 tuner instead of cherries. And a lot of times you can send this to the grave with Foolish Burial, get it right back by milling a card, and then maybe normal your Cliff to go into your Naturia Beast. And then finally, for the monsters, we have a Gigantes, which is an interesting tech, but I thought I'd include it because it is an Earth deck, and it's a free special summon. So got the Gigantes in there. So for the spells, we have double Pot of Desires, which is really necessary for the deck because most of this deck is playing out of the hand. I mean, you have Mermalio and Mantis, which searches, and Foolish, which dumps, but for the most part, you are playing with the cards that you have in your hand, so having that plus is really important. And then to supplement that, we have double Pot of Duality. It does kind of conflict with the deck because you have a lot of extra deck summons that you're primarily going for. But if you're digging for a specific spell or trap, or if you need to normal summon one specific monster, maybe normal set that cherries so it can be destroyed by battle or card effect the next turn, Pot of Duality is pretty solid. And then finally we have the card that makes a 39 card deck possible. We have Upstart Goblin for our last draw spell. Now for some more spells, we have a Scapegoat, which is perfect for the Earth deck. Go into Mrs. Radiant, also go into Proxy Dragon, maybe one Mrs. Radiant here and a Proxy Dragon here, allowing you for 3 extra deck zones. And then Scapegoat is also Earth, so perfect for the Gozen match build, and just great for your synchro plays too. One Foolish Burial to send the Glow Up Bulb to the grave. Then a Rhoda to search Goblinberg, pretty much a 4th copy of Goblinberg right there. We got a 1-for-1 which special summons Cherries or Glow Up Bulb from the deck. A Monster Reborn, just an extender. Like I said, you can bring back your Mermalia, Pop a Spell or Trap. And then finally for the spells, we have triple Twin Twisters, which is could have been Heavy Stormduster here, but I just feel like spells are a little bit better because you can use them quicker. And of course I have Landoys. If you have Landoys, maybe not of course, but if you know Landoys, you can discard a spell to negate a monster effect. So I thought I'd include more spells in the lineup. Then for the traps, we have Floodgate Trap Hole, which is a solid card to just stop your opponent's play in the middle of it, kind of leave one of their zones dead, and they can't really do anything because they can't change that monster back to face-up attack. And these trap holes are, of course, for the Rafflesia play. And we have the Bottomless Trap Hole, which is just a classic one. I mean, outside of maybe the original Trap Hole and Acid Trap Hole, this is probably one of the earliest, and a really solid card because all of these trap holes, except for the last one that I'm going to show, these 3 stop multiple monsters, even multiple monsters when they are special summoned in the same instance. So even if your opponent is pendulum summoning multiple monsters, you can banish them all or return them all to the extra deck or turn them all face down. And then finally, the last trap hole here is a Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, which is the outlier of the group because it doesn't respond to a summon. It responds to an effect of your opponent's special summon monster. A really solid card. I remember when I was getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently, or within the last few years, I remember a lot of people use this card in like 2014, 2015. That was kind of the era of Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. And the last 3 cards in the main deck are probably an obvious choice for an all-earth deck. We got triple Gozen match because it really locks your opponent out of a lot of their deck, probably if they're not using a mono attribute deck. So Gozen match is perfect for the deck for this one. So for the extra deck, we have double Naturia Beast, which is just a solid card to stop your opponent from playing a huge part of the game. I mean, spells are probably going to be a critical part of their strategy depending on the deck, but it's not a once per turn. It's really easy to make with being a level 5 tuner, synchro, level 5 synchro. And a lot of tuners to go into Nat Beast in this deck. So we have 2 Naturia Barkions at the ghost rare here. Can be blue, can be orange, can be green. Level 6 synchro. Instead of milling like Nat Beast, you banish 2 from the grave to get its negating of a trap effect. A little bit harder to go into being a level 6 synchro, but still these are the 4 or the 2 monsters that you want to go into in this deck. I mean, these are the pretty much the powerhouse behind stopping your opponent from playing. This is the goal of the deck right here. And then more synchros. We have Naturia Landoys, which I mentioned earlier. You discard a spell to stop your opponent from activating an effect monster and destroy that effect monster. Kind of hard to go into because you pretty much need that butterfly unless you're using maybe Beast and Cosmo Beat or Barkion and Cherries, but I don't know why you'd get rid of your Barkion or Beast to go into this. I mean, this is really an inferior monster. It's just a level 7 Earth synchro that I included in here in a Naturia card, so it fits in thematically. 1 Scrap Dragon, just to keep going with the Earth monsters. Destroys 1 card on each side of the field. Obviously doesn't use its scrap effect, but still a solid card. I mean, maybe if you have a Scrap Dragon and a Glow Up Bulb, you can go into the next card, Naturia Leo Drake, which is the level 9 beater with 3000 attack. Requires Earth, tuner or non-tuner. That's why all these monsters are Earth. A lot of reasons for that. And then the level 10 synchro is a Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree, which can't be targeted unless it's the main phase 2, during your main phase 2. So if you skip the battle phase, if you don't go into battle, you can protect this card from being targeted all the time. And it's got a pretty high attack, 3100, so solid beater. So for some Link monsters, we have double Mrs. Radiant, which is just the obvious choice if you're running Earth monsters. I mean, You got to have Mrs. Radiant here. Classic card too. Really supports most of the deck here, all of the deck, and it's got that graveyard effect to recycle from the graveyard. I thought the Link monsters are pretty basic in this deck. I mean, you got the Proxy Dragon, Mrs. Radiant, also a Gaia Saber. These are all monsters that you can go into with Scapegoat. And like I said, with Scapegoat, you can just set up Mrs. Radiant in one of the extra zones, and in the middle zone where Mrs. Radiant points, you can put a Proxy Dragon. Also, Gaia Saber can be good in either the main monster zone or the extra zone, so you can keep going with your play. I mean, this is just to extend the board and to get as many Synchros or XZs on the field as possible. And then finally for the extra deck, we have 3 XYZ monsters. We have a Traptrix Rafflesia, which is the perfect choice for a Traptrix deck. I mean, great support when it came out. A lot of effects on this guy, but mostly, primarily, you want to be activating trap hole cards from the deck while it's on the field. So perfect first turn play right here. Also unaffected by trap effects while it has XYZ material, so that can be great depending on the matchup. Maybe if you're playing Altergeist or True Draco, it really depends. Also, Traptrix monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, except for Traptrix Rafflesia, so it protects those 4 monsters in this build. And then for some more Earth XYZs, we have a Diamond Dire Wolf, which is just your spot removal. Tribute itself, or a Beast. No Beast Warrior or Winged Beast in this deck. No Beast, I believe, if I just go through the deck. Am I wrong? I am not wrong, no Beast. But it can tribute itself and pop 1 card in the field. So just a solid card to just get rid of problematic cards. And then finally we have a Giant Hand, which is your last Earth monster. And this could be Gem Knight Pearl, or it could be Gaga Cowboy. Both of those are Earth, but I thought I'd go with one that has a quick effect, not just a beater or burn damage. Stops monster effects, and they can't change its battle position. So decent attack and also high defense too, depending on what you're going for. Giant Hand is actually a very good card. Thinking about running this in Pendulums too, it actually fits into a lot of rank 4 decks. So that is the deck profile. I will just end the video with another glance at the cool Naturia cards. We got the Barkion, the Beast, and Landois is cool too. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.